love to cook. I became a chef because I love to cook. I traveled a lot as a kid. I loved the dining experience. I loved everything about food and eating. I started really young, teaching myself through cookbooks and playing around a lot at home, and I got an opportunity to work in a phenomenal French restaurant at a very young age, and that was everything I needed. I started cooking at a very young age. I started teaching myself at home through cookbooks and got the opportunity around 14 years old to work in a phenomenal French restaurant called L'Hermitage here in Los Angeles, and that was all I needed. Once I saw that kitchen and was able to work in it, was a pristine, incredible environment. It was everything I'd ever imagined restaurants to be, and I never wanted to leave. You know, my favorite cookbook right now are actually not the cookbook, but the TED Talks. So I'm really enjoying those. There's some really cool TED Talks with Dan Barber. So it's really fun because you gain to hear people talk about what they're passionate about and what drives them is really exciting. So I'm kind of addicted to those right now. I remember having Eggs Benedict once at a hotel when I was really little, and that was it. The fixation became being able to reproduce that at home, and I think it was one of the first really, you know, rather complicated dishes I made when I was about 8 or 9 years old at home, making the hollandaise sauce. See, the biggest difference between New York and LA is just the amount of time you have to feed people. And in New York, we can feed people 24 hours a day, and I miss that. Here, in LA, we really have to condense that down. People typically want to eat dinner, you know, around the same time every night, you know, earlier in the evening, and are a little bit more structured about their meals. Where in New York, eating anything at any time is an exciting part of that city. Yeah, LA's a great place to work. The lifestyle is phenomenal. The weather's great. And I would say more than anything, proximity to the farmer's market, proximity to the farms themselves, and just the availability of fresh produce and, you know, organically grown produce and organically raised meats, and it's just unprecedented. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So I love that. I love being able to go to the market 7 days a week if I want to. In New York, we're very restricted. The seasons are short, and the markets are infrequent. At Delphine restaurant, we make considerable efforts to set ourselves apart from what would normally be expected in a hotel restaurant. We try to have a very, you know, fresh, chef-driven, market-driven menu. We change the menu frequently, and really to keep it exciting for our guests, and not to fall into the idea that we have a transient clientele, but to actually service repeat customers. I would say one of our signature items here are oysters. We put a lot into bringing in very fresh, exciting varieties of oysters. We do Raw Bar Mondays every Monday night, where we do $1 and $2 oysters, and shrimp and clam chowder, and that's a cool component of our menu that has never faltered. No matter what we're doing, no matter what the season is, we're always featuring oysters. My favorite thing on the menu is just in general is the shellfish and seafood. I love fish. It's a very exciting, you know, protein and medium to work in. Shellfish are exciting. They're exciting raw. You can cook them, but just fish in general. There's so many varieties. There's so much to play around with that I would say hands down, just the fish across the board in this restaurant it's exciting. It's fun to eat, and I love cooking it. The restaurant is pretty insane here for pre-theater. Being across the street from the Pantages Theater, we are subjected to a high concentration of theater goers in a very short period of time. So, you know, Tuesday through Sundays, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, we have matinees, and it's a pretty exciting time here. To keep things moving and to manage it efficiently, you try to keep very simple preparations, good food, allowing the ingredients to speak for themselves, and not spend a lot of time manipulating the item or the dish itself.